Hello everyone, my name's Larry, aka Similar. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Fixer-Upper Farmer episode 7, I think. I hope you're all well. Hope you've had a great week so far. I hope you've had a great winter, quote-unquote winter. We are March the 1st, year 2. We've skipped through, I think we ended the last episode November 2, year 1. We've skipped through December, January, February in episodes. I have been working away on the farm through the winter, as I said that I would, and we've got plenty of stuff to go through. Now, where to start? So we'll start because we're here. I have been working on clearing the forestry area. Now, I'm going to show you because this is quite something. Let me get up on the old flight mode. We've got some kind of fast running on. Yes, we do. Right, so this is our, obviously, you know, we'll come to the fields in a sec. So this is our entranceway here. And as you'll see, I've been working hard on clearing the trees out. This, I will be completely honest with you, has been no mean feat whatsoever. This has taken me most of the time, to be honest. Like, I've probably put in, I would say, another 15 or 16 hours real time in this forest. So I started off chopping the trees down, stripping them of their leaves, cutting them into chunks or cutting them into logs, taking them up to there where we had our sawmill. Quickly realized that that was going to take us an absolute age, and basically in the end what I was doing was, you may remember that I bought that trailer, that winch that fixes to the back of the tractor. So I was chopping the trees down and just dragging them in whole because there was so many. No exaggeration, I've cut down somewhere in the region of 300 to 400 trees so far. And as you can see, we've still got a massive area in the middle. Now, I want to clear all of this before we start putting down any of our main farmyard. But the problem is, as I'll show you in a sec, I've also been doing some leveling because I want this to be a nice big level pad. So that does mean that some areas have got like raised, some areas have got lowered. At the moment, the trees in the middle, as you can see here, where we haven't been able to raise it because the trees are there, that's how much of a raise it is. And then obviously, if we head down to this corner, still in flight mode, which is why we're running quite quickly. If you have a look down at this corner, just kind of where the end of the yard will be. Obviously it's quite a substantial dip down to level off the ground, so I've put these retaining walls in. The plan will be I'll put these retaining walls in all the way along here, and all the way down there, because that will, you know, I like the idea of that. So yeah, we've got retaining walls here. Now the thing with the trees is, and as you will be able to see from our money, we are doing exceptionally well on money. I now have 4 of these sawmills, and at one stage every single one of these was full up of wood. Each one of these holds 250,000 litres of wood. So at one stage I had 1 million litres of wood in these 4. So after I did that, I started deleting trees instead of chopping them down and putting them in, because I didn't want to put a 5th sawmill down. And we've still got all of this trees to cut down or get rid of. So at the moment, because we've slept through some additional days, obviously they're not quite full up. So like they're around 200,000 mark, 216, 216. Now this one in the corner here is running as a production for the wood stuff that we need, which is all here. So as you see, we've got quite a lot of pallets of planks, long planks and beams, which is what we'll need to build the farmhouse. We've probably got way more than we need, but I don't know how many we need, so I'm just going to keep loads. If we need to move some to storage or to sell at some stage, we will. But yeah, I would say it's fair to say that it's going quite well. We're 845,000 in the bank, which is way more than I thought we would be. If we have a look at time saving stock check, actually we'll look at our productions first. So we've got 4. The main one here as you can see, we've only got nearly 21,000 litres of grass left to go through to make silage. And then that's going to be done so we can get rid of that building. We'll have a look at time-saving stock check. At the moment, the long planks that we have is worth 104,000. The planks that we've got is worth 60,000. The wood beams that we've got in storage is worth 165,000. And as you will see there, the wood that is in those sawmills, if I sold it all now, this estimates that I would get 2.593 million for it. So it's been quite lucrative chopping down these trees. Obviously, we're not going to sell the wood. We're just going to leave it processing through the mills and just selling at the end of every month. I think it's fair to say that we're probably going to be okay money-wise. So, yeah, it's going pretty well. But for now, this is kind of going to be our production corner. I'm not particularly bothered that we are so high on money, because at the moment we obviously haven't bought any buildings or anything like that. We need to buy some more retaining wall, which is quite expensive. I want to put a fence all the way around the perimeter. We've got to buy the buildings, like I just said. We've got to buy the farm, the pig barn, and equipment and stuff still to buy. So that is yeah, that's going to go down relatively quickly once we get going again. This here is our New Holland skid steer, which came up in the sales. I'm going to flash that up on the screen now. I don't recall off the top of my head. I'm going to show you some equipment that we've bought along the way as well. I don't recall off the top of my head how much any of it costs, but it'll be on the screen grab. And the price on the screen grab is prior to any customization. So it's either that price or more. Is what it cost us. Obviously, with this, the actual skid steer came up in the sales, and I purchased the forks extra. And as you'll see from this screenshot, I deducted the 3,000 as per the rules. So there's no jiggery pokery going on there. I will hop into the finances as well, real quick, just so you can actually see the money. Where are we? Finances here. So as you can see here, we've got a load of various different construction costs, some buildings that we sold, some vehicles that we sold, which I'll come on to in a sec. And then obviously you see here, look, where all our money's coming in of all the products that we sold. February's quite high because that's when we sold the silage. The silage was building up. We sold that last month. But as you can see, we are ramping up quite nicely on sold products, and as you can see, we've been paying our loan interest and our loans. At the MISC there, look, that's the 3,000 that I took out. But as you can see, just for proof, the 3 months that we missed, so December, January, February, there's nothing being pumped in with dev tools to pump us up on the money that we've got here. Just sort of grafted away for that. Cool, so that's that. So yeah, it's still loads to do. Basically, I'll just fly up again because I'll show you something else. I don't know how many more trees are in here, but I reckon there's probably at least another 100, maybe 150 trees in here. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up these sawmills again, and I'll just, same thing again, I'm just going to chop them down, use the winch to pull them, and then whatever's left, then I'm just going to delete those, use the delete tree function, because I think it's going to take us so long to process through all that wood. By the time we've processed through it, we're going to be making our own money anyway. So I think that's the thing, because I want to get all of this leveled off relatively quickly so that we can start placing out our farmyard, get our pigs in and stuff. So that's that. Our fields here are all ploughed in and ready to go to be seeded. This middle one here, I also did hire a courseplay worker to cultivate that for me, because I don't believe that the potato seeder that we've got has the capability to direct drill without it being cultivated first. So that's kind of everything on the farm. Obviously, we're doing way better than I expected. I really genuinely, truly wasn't expecting so much wood to be coming off some of these trees. Some of them were like 35, 36 meters tall, and some of those trees were given like 8, 9, 10,000 liters of wood per tree. Some of them not so good, like the deadwood trees were like barely 1,000 liters. But yeah, it was crazy amount of wood. And when I look at what's left, there's still a crazy amount of wood there. And then obviously that's even before we get into buying more land. Like we could easily buy another chunk of land now, and again have more trees to cut down and dispose of. So that's that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to tab through, get to the store so I can show you. I'll show you this actually as well. Obviously, towards the end of the last episode, you saw me cave in and we bought the Steyr. The Steyr has been absolutely fantastic for us. It's been a beast of a tractor, and I'm so glad that I bought it. But what I do want to show you is we traded in the plow that I had. For using it, I didn't really like the angle that it was at. It was on a very slight diagonal angle, which made it really hard to get a nice corner on it. And then this John Deere plow came up. If I've got the screen grab of me buying that, I will pop it up in the store. But if not, then you just have to take my word for it. So this came up in the store, and it's just a straight edge plow. 5 meter width, so it's similar width to the other one. But yeah, that came up, so I was pretty pleased with that. All right, so purchases wise, I can't remember what we purchased at the end of the last episode. Right, so I think we had the planter there, and I can't remember what else we bought on episode. So I know that we definitely had bought a potato planter on an episode, and it was a 3 meter width potato planter. Now the 6 meter version of that came up, so we did a little swappy swap there. We bought this one and we sold the other one. This cramp kipper trailer came up, so we got that. I got it in the smaller of the variants. This came up, which is a straw blower, K-brand straw blower. I can't remember again how much any of these cost, so I am going to be popping them up on the screen. And again, the prices that are on the screen is going to be what we paid or more because of add-in variations and different specifications and stuff. The Lizard Titan or the Lizard Colossus forage trailer pickup came up. Now, I'm going to tell you, this comes in a ridiculous capacity. You can get this or configure it as a 5 million litre capacity. I didn't do that. There's a standard option, which is 45,000 litres, which is what I did. So that's why, that's what we got. So there's no nothing going on. If I show you in vehicles, just to show you, it's the Lizard Titan Super Collect 533 Unrealistic. We got in the 45,000 litre capacity with the 3 meter width, just as bog standard as it could come. It just basically triples. Is it? About triples what we could pick up. So that's that. I didn't want to get it in the unrealistic capacity. Then the next that came up was the Case Steiger tractor, which is a monster tractor. I think we've got it about 400 horsepower. I just wanted to get that because let me just have a look. It was really cheap. So 276 horsepower. So we did do. I thought we'd got a bigger engine than that actually. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Sorry, it's this one. Stupid me. Case IH 9390 power shift, 425 horsepower. Now this has got the capability, if we wanted to go up and change the engine, and we could get it up to about 625 horsepower, I believe. So I wanted that because obviously if we start getting into bigger equipment, big cultivators, big seeders, whatever, we're going to need the power, and it was really quite cheap for what we bought it for. I think it was about 50,000, which for that kind of power was amazing. And then the last thing that we bought, which to my surprise, which I was a bit concerned about whether it would come up or not, was this is a mod. I don't believe the original base game one actually does potatoes, but the Daywolf is a potato harvester which came up, which obviously we're going to be doing some potatoes. So I was quite pleased when that came up, and we got that as well. So that's where we're up to equipment wise. Now on the episode today, I want to look in our menu, because if you remember, we spoke about it, I think, on the last episode, was the requirements for the pig feed mixer. So sorghum, wheat, canola, potatoes. Sorghum is the most needed, then wheat, then canola, then potatoes. Now that recipe will make 1,000 pig food per process. Now we've missed the window for wheat and canola. Sorghum and potatoes is fine. Now that we've done the autosave, we can get onto the calendar. So you can see here, sorghum, well, potatoes first. Here, we're right in the planting window for potatoes now for the next 2 months, harvest August to September. Sorghum, we've got to wait till next month to pick it up. So there's a couple of things I want to do in this month. Ideally, we want to get the potatoes seeded. And we also want to get some oats in the ground. Now, oats is purely going to be cash, a money maker, because timing it wise, looking at what we need to plant, canola is harvest August to September, and plant is August to September. Wheat is planted in September and October. So whatever we plant in the fields that would be wheat and canola have to be out and harvestable by the times that we can seed the next lot. So that's why I'm looking at oats, because we could seed that. We can seed that now. We can harvest that in July, ready to sow in August. So what I'm going to just do is on the wheat and canola field, I'm going to seed oats. Sorghum will seed in the sorghum field when it's ready, and then potatoes in the final field. So that's what we're going to do. So right now we've got to seed oats and potatoes. Now what I think I'm going to do is we're going to start with the oat, because we want to start with oats? So if we start with oats, yeah, I think if we start with oats, then we'll see how we get on. So we head back to the farm through the means of tabbing. Want to get that, and we want to get spun around, and we want to get hooked up to our leader, which is over here. Now the reason, which is probably no surprise to anyone, I want to get all those trees out ASAP is because I want to be getting the I want to be getting some barns down, some garages, that kind of stuff, because I want to start getting some of this stuff into storage. So yeah, it's just a case of playing the game, if you like, and just because of the sheer time that it takes to kind of chop the trees down, hook them up to a chain. You can only take about 3 at a time on the winch, so it's a long process. Steering assist, we want to get that. So number of headlands 6. Work direction automatic. Offset none. Show lines on. Cruise control. Hide lawns. Okay. Cool. So we want to start somewhere in the middle of the field. We are probably going to have to top up our seed as we go. That's not the right one. We need to hold. Yes, we do. Oh, no, we need to. What do we want? We want. No, we want oats. There we go. So yeah, all in all, I hope you'll agree, it's not been a bad summer whatsoever. What I should have done actually, we never even looked in the sales. Forage harvester. We've got a truck. Truck might not be a bad shout. Liquid fertilizer, a weight, roster mash, no. Had a grape harvester, an olive harvester as well, but neither of those is useful. Corn header, an oxbow. I think that's spinach, is it? That one. Yeah, I don't think there's really anything that we want to get at the moment. That wouldn't be too bad, but it's like half our money. I will get a silage additive though, because it's half price, nearly. Okay, cool. Right, let's roll. Let's get this seeded. So yeah, I hope you'll agree. It's been quite the lucrative winter. Went considerably better than I was anticipating, to be completely honest. I knew the sawmill was keeping us ticking over. I had no idea whatsoever that chopping down the wood was going to give us so much wood, because we're close to a million. Well, at one stage we had 1 million liters in our productions, or close to, and then it just kind of got a bit silly, and I was like, well, actually, I need the trees gone. Shall I just start deleting them? Because that seemed like the best option to do at the time. But that should keep us going throughout the series. That will just give us a little bit of money coming in the background. Obviously, we won't be making as much now because the silage is kind of all sold through, but we'll we'll be certainly ticking through quite nicely. I did for a little bit consider just when I started deleting the trees, I was like, well, what if I just dragged them to a sell point? But it's, you can only, with the winch, you can only take 3 trees at the same time because of the weight limit. And I thought that would just take way too long. We should just, concentrate on trying to get them either sold for, put into processing, or just got rid of. Financially, I don't think we're going to take a hit much. Like I said, I'll probably cut down a few more trees just to refill some of the sawmills. But I'm not totally worried about just deleting some of the trees out. It's more important for me at this stage that we have the trees gone, so that we can get on with planning out our farm in the way that we want it. So yeah, I think hopefully you'll be pleased with the progress. Like I said, all the fields are done. That was the quickest job, and the rest of the time, and if you've been around for a while, saw any of me playing on FS22, logging's not exactly my strongest part of the game, so it was a bit of a faff. But I think it'll look nice in there once. Now I've got the level worked out just right for the making the whole area level, so everything kind of sits all in the same place. There's not any kind of nasty, crazy bumps or anything like that. I think it will look quite nice once we've got it worked out. In terms of working it out, I haven't come up with any kind of plan in my mind yet about what I sort of think that it will look like, or how many like sheds or silos and you know, that kind of stuff that we're gonna have. We're gonna build one of the log cabins, one of the constructables, which is why we're doing that. I need to also place down a debris crusher, and that's about 55,000. And I also need to place down a cement factory, which is also, I think that might be slightly cheaper. I think that's about 35,000. So that's going to be close to 90,000 gone, pretty much. Like I said, we're riding high right now on cash, and that's largely down to the wood. Well, this is all pretty much all down to the wood mainly, and then with the bit of silage that we had with from the last episode, or from the last few episodes where we'd sort of cut the grass and stuff. So yeah, we're doing all right, but that money's soon gonna go, because once that area is level and we can start placing down buildings, then it's gonna rapidly go. And that's before we even consider if other bits of equipment that we need come up. Like, we still need a roller, we still need a harvester, we still need what else do we need? Just trying to think. Like some kind of sprayer. I'm confident that now we can, obviously now I know for sure that when we put the potatoes in, we can definitely harvest them, because that was going to be my one big worry, was what are the chances that we're going to have a potato harvester come up so that we can actually harvest the potatoes. And, you know, lo and behold, as it happened, a harvester did come up. The harvester that came up to begin with was a trail behind harvester, and then that Daywolf harvester came up, which was the modded version, which I'd put on, which was or has been adapted to what am I trying to say? It's been adapted to be able to take potatoes as a crop type. We still need a roller to be able to roll crops in. So there's still stuff that we need, and obviously anything that I come up that I think will be useful, we'll get a buy as well. So for now, at least, yes, we're high on money. Yes, we're doing better than I thought we would, genuinely. But it's no necessarily a bad thing, and it's not going to last us a long time. Yeah, I hope you've all been well. Hopefully it's not been too long since the last episode came out when you see this, given the amount of time and effort that it's taken me to get to this point. We should, being completely truthful, it shouldn't be I don't think it'll be too long, maybe another couple of episodes, and we'll have that area in there cleared and flattened and ready to go. Our container home, I hear you ask. We are going to be keeping hold of that container home for the foreseeable future. I do like that mod. I don't know how long it's going to take us to build the log cabin, but that container home is going to stay until at least that log cabin is built and ready for us to move into. Overcook that a little bit. Go. Lovely stuff. Yep. But yeah, it's it is going good. I think obviously it's still a case of needing to get equipment. Like we're putting this in now. We do need a harvester that comes up that's not totally expensive, because obviously the harvesters are there. The ones that are there right now are really expensive. The ones that have come up before now that have been cheaper, there have been a couple, but they've had really like insanely small hopper size, which, you know, when the hopper's like 2,000 litres and you're working on fields of a size like this, you know, you're really talking having to do a lot of trips back and forth of unloading into a trailer. So it's kind of although there were options, you know, they were like 30, 40,000, it was kind of a bit like, actually the hopper is so small and you can't upgrade the hopper size, so I took a pass. But I'm sure something will come up. As long as we can maintain a little bit of cash in the bank, then there should be no reason really why we can't purchase a harvester before harvest season. Obviously, if we can't for whatever reason, then it is what it is, and the crops will wither. We'll be back to square one and have to plough them in. Obviously, the potatoes will be fine, so we've got the day off. Lovely job. It's not doing too bad on consumption at the moment. We will keep an eye. We will probably definitely have to fill it before we get to the end of this field. But for now, it's doing all right. I think probably one of the next things to do will be to get a wider seeder, because at the moment we're working on a 3 meter width, and it's takes a fair while to get it done. So it's not that I don't like this seeder, it's just that it's a little bit on the narrow side for my liking, considering the size of the fields. I'm not bothering with tram lines, and that's purely because I don't know how to do them on the game, and I haven't looked anything into it. I know you can. I believe you can do them, because it says there, look in the top right, top left. Sorry, no tram lines defined, and the other fields that are on the map have got tram lines. So, you know, it is a possibility down the line we could learn how to do tram lines. Yeah, for now we will just do without them. So the way it's going to go is that field dead ahead that runs along. That's going to be sorghum. That's going to be the sorghum field every year. This field I'm doing now is going to be the wheat field. The field next to us is the potato field, and the field on the far side there is actually the canola field. I do have on here a mod. Now, I don't generally like to do potatoes or like root crops. I find them very tedious. However, we do have a mod on here that will do crisps and such. So it may well be that we do we do some crisps. For my American friends, crisps in the UK is equivalent to chips in the USA. So there is a mod on here that does a variety of different crisps. So we might look into that at some stage. Now, the thing is, my plan at the moment is we've got the 4 sawmills in there in that corner. We've got the little building that or the little sort of rusty barn that I put down to store the pallets in. I think from my memory that'll take about 500 pallets in there. We need to put down the stone, the debris crusher, I think is what it's called, but that produces stones for us, which is then going to feed the concrete factory, which will then produce the other bits that we need to make the house. Now, we will be looking at getting rid of those sawmills once they become empty, once they've worked through, because obviously 3 of them are just selling the goods. The 4th one is producing the goods for our sort of manufacturing plans. But for now, that corner is just going to be kind of like production corner, if you like, in that it's going to have those 4 sawmills. I'm going to get the debris crusher down there, which is another production. I'm going to get the concrete factory down there, which is another production. And then I'm not planning on building any more of the constructibles. The only one that I'm interested in building is a house. The house that I've settled on is the log cabin, just because I think being in the woods, that's going to suit better. So once that is built, we won't really have need for any of the productions that we're going to put down. So we will sell those when the time is right, and get rid of them, make the space back. But I think we are going to be all right on the series. Come in. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So jump up in money again, because it is the top of the hour. So we went from 879 to 892, which is not bad at all. Looks like 13,000 in an hour. I think that is not bad. I think that's probably, forgive the autosave, that's probably not far off the end of our silage production. Yeah, so just got just another 4,000 or just under 4,000 litres of silage left to process, and then we can get rid of that building. I said we will bring that building back, because we do have a grass field, which actually reminds me. Let's check on how that's doing. It is apparently ready to harvest. Let's go and check the growth states a sec. Just check. So it's ready to harvest, but growth stage 3 or 4. So once it gets to 4 or 4, we'll mow it then. Yeah, it should be all right. But yeah, we will use that again, because obviously we have got grass down. We've got nothing in the way of any animals that will need like hay or anything like that. I'm pretty sure pigs. Pretty sure pigs don't need anything like hay. So it's purely just a little income maker. But yeah, like I completely went off on a tangent there. Like I said, I've got a crisp production on here. I'm pretty sure that you can use for potatoes and make crisps out of it. So if we find that after we've mixed up some pig feed, we've got a really quite large amount of potatoes left over, then we may well put down some of those productions and start making some crisps on site. Just a quick look in the store. Another cabbage. Is it cabbage or spinach or something like that? Nothing else really worthwhile. Cool. So it's just a case of just carrying on at the minute, just plugging along, hoping that the right tools come up at the right time. Which obviously is a lot easier now because we've got pretty decent cash flow levels at the moment. So the chances of something coming up that we want and us not being able to afford it is probably slim and none. And not trying to be arrogant, because like I said, that will go. But if we're making about 13 grand an hour, then you know, pretty doing pretty alright, I reckon. We will do what we can do, won't we? I think in terms of one of the things I was talking about before is about putting the fields too close together, and then Courseplay detects it like one field rather than two individual fields. I think we are good to go with that, because I managed to get Courseplay going on the middle field there. It's going to be the potato field, and didn't have any problems with it detecting fields close by. So hopefully that means that we've put the right width between the fields to not cause any problems. I think annoyingly, one of the, I say, issues very loosely, one of the problems I was having is when it comes to the headlands, it's not like a continuous, and I think that's because the corners are just too sharp. And the corners are too right angular, if you like. Which means the game can't route me in a continuous arc for the headlands. So to fix it, I think we would need to probably just put in some more curved corners, which yeah, we just have to put some more curved corners in, which I'm probably all right with not doing that at the moment, to be honest with you. So we'll we may want to do it down the line, but as of right now, I'm probably all right, to be honest. Not that like totally bothered that I'd go through the hassle of ploughing up my fields again, or having to redo any work. So the main focus now is press ahead with the seeding, fertilizer as we can. One thing we're probably actually going to need to do, which I should have thought about beforehand, is we're going to need to do some liming, because these fields, if I just hop out real quick, apparently according to that, it says they don't need lime. Apparently the lime is fine. I definitely don't recall liming them already. We'll I'll double check it after, because if it needs liming, then it might be best to do it now before we fertilize. Cool. Yeah, I feel like we're making some nice progress now. I haven't really thought about any kind of plans for expansion yet, because obviously we've got so much to do in terms of building out our farmyard that I don't think that going off now and buying another piece of land for like another 200,000 is the wise move. Obviously, I know we've got 900,000 in the bank, and that's fantastic. I'm really pleased about that. I don't think now is the right time to consider purchasing a neighbouring plot of land, because obviously we are only 2-day months and we are 6 times speed, so there is a very real possibility that if we get more land, then we might not be able to service all that land. Because one thing we are going to have to give consideration to, if we get more land down the line, which, you know, is a oh, I've done the wrong thing there, mate. It's definitely a possibility. I'm not saying no. Get in the right lane, please. Thank you. And we're going to run into the possibility that we might not be able to service all of the fields that we make in the 2-day months. And that 2-day months is stuck pretty bloody firm, and the time is stuck pretty firm. I know I mentioned in a previous episode that when I came up with the timing, it was originally on a 2x map, so I thought it'd be alright, and I know it takes longer on a 4x map, but the time is stuck. That's it. The time is done. So if we wanted to get more fields, which puts more pressure on to get more done, then we are potentially talking about having to get duplicate equipment. Not necessarily identically the same, because obviously the chances in the used market, but we are talking about yeah, we'd have to have two seeders, 2 planters, 2 tractors capable of pulling, because we'd have to start utilizing courseplay a little bit to kind of get us through, if you know what I mean. So yeah, we'll see. I'm not ruling out buying more land. It's too early to do that. At the moment, we need to kind of get into the swing of things a little bit, get ourselves set up to feed the pigs. We need to get 1 full season of our growth plan under our belt, just to kind of be able to work out how much pig feed that's going to make us. And then once we've made the pig feed, we'll know how many pigs we can get. Because, you know, ideally, if we're going to be getting these big pig enclosures that hold like anywhere between 250 to 500, then we need to have feed capacity to fill it, because I want to fill them. If we're going to get them, I want to fill them, you know. So we do need to concentrate on being able to fill them, and then being able to feed them. So once we've got 1 season under the belt of all the crops that we want to grow, and we know what kind of yield we're working with, then we can kind of determine then whether we need more fields or not. Because there's not much point rushing ahead now, getting a new field or, well, a new plot of land, mowing it all back and having to deal with them like 1 million litres of grass again, and then having to decide what to do from there, setting out more fields, deciding a field plan, taking out more trees maybe, do you know what I mean? So it's definitely something to think about. But we just won't know the answers until a little bit down the line. Yeah, I do appreciate you coming back. I hope you didn't mind the time jump too much. But yeah, I do appreciate you watching. And yeah, I'm going to crack on with this now. And then we'll come back towards the end of doing this to see what we're going to do next.
Let's go. I got big dreams, I'ma do big things. Yeah, you see me on the big screen looking so clean. I don't move slow, I move fast right past anybody taking life for granted. Yeah, that's too bad. I'd be grateful for everything that I have. You only got this life, you don't get it back. Make the most of it, become the best that I can. Everybody look at me, I got a plan. You gotta work hard, play hard, do it from the start. Cause how you do anything is everything is art. Stay consistent and do it every day. Don't let fatigue get in your way. Cause 10% of something is better than nothing. You better do something if you wanna be something. I can feel my stomach rumbling, I'm hungry. Big things coming, I ain't bluffing, yeah. No, I don't wanna stay the same, yeah. So I keep pushing through the pain, yeah. That's the only way to make a change, yeah. So I fight every day and train, yeah. It'll all be worth it. One day it'll all be worth it. So I keep pushing through the pain, yeah. That's the only way to make a change, yeah. I've had enough, I'm making my own luck. Adrenaline, my drug, I'm sick of feeling stuck. I got this, will not quit to the top, I promise. better watch out. I'm on the climb to the crown in my prime right now. Hear me loud, I've been spitting for a while now. All by myself, independent DIY now. Don't need no help, I've been beating out labels and money and budgets. It's funny, I do all the work, yeah, keep it 100. I fight for my dreams, I would die for these things. I believe in myself, I refuse to be weak. I like to build things, empires out of buildings. I wanna leave a legacy of helping others finally feel things, of motivating and killing depression, exhaustion. We need some healing. I work through the pain, I like seeing gains. I keep my head down, buried, walk through the flames. Yeah, I do this every day, even when I feel drained. A true man pushes through, you don't hear complaints. No, I don't wanna stay the same, yeah. So I keep pushing through the pain, yeah. That's the only way to make a change, yeah. So I fight every day and train, yeah. It'll all be worth it. One day it'll all be worth it. So I keep pushing through the pain, yeah. That's the only way to make a change, yeah. I've had enough, I'm making my own luck. Adrenaline, my drug. I'm sick of feeling stuck. I got this, yeah, I got this. Will not quit to the top, I promise. 'Cause I've had enough.
Alrighty guys, so we're on the last we're on the last headland pass now. There's a couple of bits to clean up. I got a bit mixed up with the lanes in the end and where I needed to be and which lane I should have been in at the time. So there is a little bit of cleanup. I was trying to curve these edges as well to try and make it a bit more streamlined, in terms of not having to what am I trying to say, not having to do each headland side individually, if you know what I mean. So oh, we've run out of seed actually. Right, how far back did we run out? Just completely missed that. Quite a ways back actually. So alright, fully loaded again now. So yeah, so another pallet in, 1,050 litres. I may get some more seeds because I think the next field, which again is going to be oats, I think I want to get that. I want to do that with courseplay, because I want to see the potatoes myself. Yeah, I figure if I do the potatoes, courseplay worker can work in the field beside me, then chances are we're gonna get. Are we? Oh, we're not. I didn't. Oh, you idiot. I thought we'd already seeded this site. Silly me. Silly me. Let's get back at the top and we'll get back on the line. Like I said, it's not exactly perfect. There are some clear ups to do, but I'm still learning how all this stuff works. So it's all good. I think obviously I'll do the potato field myself. I think I'll just go back to doing each side of the headland myself rather than trying to arc the corners, because it seems to cause a lot of problems. In terms of seed usage, I said about maybe getting another another pallet of seeds, but possibly because it seems the seed usage on base games seems to be much less on 25 than it was on 22. So I don't know if that's something they've done, taking a leaf out of Terra Life's book or something, but the seed usage definitely seems to be less. So maybe we might not need another pallet after all. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do on the next episode. We'll set this off on either a courseplay worker, or we'll set it off on the game workers, and then basically just see what happens. And then we'll work in the field next to us. So yeah, this field right immediately next to this one, that's going to be the potato field, and that field over there is going to be the other oat field, but in the longer term, the canola field. Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go straight up on this one. I'm going to spin around. Get ourselves on this one. I mean, if we're doing it like this, it's the thing with because obviously we got precision farming on, so it's not using any excess seed if we're going over bits that we've already covered. That's what the precision farming mod does. Is so that's put us back. So what I'm going to do, because I can see I've missed a bit here, so I'm going to come on this lane here, come along to this one, and then we will fill this bit in. And then if we come around the corner, and then yeah, we should be able to fill that bit in there, spin right around. I'm going to fill this last bit in on this corner. I think we'd probably be better off. Hopefully there's no crop destruction on grass. Yeah, we might be better off. Get it from this angle. Jubbly. Right, now if we go over to the bottom of the field, and we should be almost done. I think it's the it's this one here. Lovely jubbly. Actually wasn't, it was the one next to this, but that's fine. I think if I'm doing the field, I'll definitely go back to sort of doing the headlands each side individually rather than trying to do one continuous loop, which I don't think that's how they do it in real life. I do think they do tend to try and do it in one continuous loop, but I can't seem to make it work for me with the game's settings, so I think it'll just be better if we do it just done. I don't think that'll lift it then, but that's just done a let's just ploughed some oats into that bit for flip's sake. She didn't press the keybind hard enough. Silly man. Never mind, never mind. So, yeah, that's it. We're getting towards the end now. We've crept up to 959,000 euros. It's not too bad. Like I said, it's high at the moment. But, you know, you think, right, well, actually, I could pay off half the loan with that. But I don't obviously want to do that because got a ton of stuff to buy coming up, so yeah, I think in trying to help myself here, I've actually hindered myself more than anything. I'll watch a tutorial and see how I get it to work so that I can do it the way that I want it. So we'll turn that off for now. We'll transport it up to the field that we want it to go on, ready for the next episode. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to park this here for now. Well, I'll just park it on the field. Park it there. Turn the lights off. Now, what I want to do is I want to just doing this. Let's just check. So that's empty now. Do is it's mine. I can't remember how much it cost us. Depending on how much we get back for it, we might not quite. We'll get 30 grand back for it. We'll sell that. And what I want to do is, I mean, it doesn't matter too much, but yeah, and a little bit of a smoothing over. So if we do want to drive in that bit of ground, it's not going to cause us any problems. Beautiful stuff. And there we are. We are ticking along nicely. Now, that is going to do us for this episode. We've got one of the oat fields seeded. Like I said, this is purely just money. This is all going to be, you know, when it's harvested, it's all just going to be sold at the best price because we don't need it for the pigs or the pig recipe. But we need, you know, I didn't want these fields to just be sort of sat there waiting. We could have potentially put in a grass crop or grass and just ploughed it back in or sort of direct drilled over it, but as it is, it's fine as oats. This one will be oats, that end one will be oats, potatoes next door, and then that top one is going to be sorghum when the time is right. But that is going to do us for this episode, guys. If you have enjoyed this episode, please do hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already, and leave me any thoughts, feedback, tips, tricks, comments, whatever you like down below about the new farm, or sort of about the changes since the last episode, anything like that. And we'll catch you in the next one. Take care, guys.